Okay, so this video will contain spoilers for 139, so you have been warned. If you are a anime only, please look away from the video and you can watch it at a later date. I would not want to spoil the incredible Attack on Titan ending, and I do still have some sarcasm. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, today we're really talking about a very interesting topic: masculinity. Now, a while back, I watched a video, and it was some guy was doing a series on the manosphere, and he was covering 4 guys, I believe. It was Kevin Samuels, Jordan Peterson, Gary Vee, and yes, I'm serious, Aaron Yeager. So I was like, "That's interesting." First off, Aaron Yeager is an anime character. I don't know why you would put him in the manosphere. It's kind of strange. Like, you got Jordan Peterson, and then you got Kevin Samuels, like real people who do actual things, and then you got Aaron Yeager. And I thought, how is he in the manosphere? What? Like, he's not like an Andrew Tate type guy. Like, what are you talking about? Well, it was before Andrew Tate, but it was strange. And then I started to hang out with more Aaron stans, and I watched a video. I forgot who the guy's name was, but I watched a video, and I was like, oh. Now I see why Eren is in the manosphere, so to speak. Now, of course, just like Jordan Peterson, Eren is not in the manosphere. He's just being misinterpreted by people, and that's why people are so disappointed by the ending because they thought that he betrayed their ideals of masculinity. When in fact, 139 was actually a pleasant surprise. Now, a lot of ending haters must think that us ending defenders have a hard time with. No, I don't want that. We must cringe and say, "Oh, how can we solve this?" Well, maybe for other people, but for me personally, I can tell you, no, I don't want that. Was a pleasant surprise actually, because during the waiting period for Volume 34 to be released, because again, we were told it had missing pages, so I waited till October to read it, and I finished volume 33 right in April. So I went from April to October. It was a gap of time that I waited, and I had a bunch of time to think about these things. And I thought, Aaron's a really good character. I just wish he had that, just to complete him and to give his motives, make his motives stronger, would be if he had a wife. And I thought, well, Attack on Titan's not about romance. Oh, we don't have time for that. Blah 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 blah. And that's why I was pleasantly surprised by No, I Don't Want That. So the thing about patriotism is that patriotism is great. It's awesome. Now, for those of you who are in my Discord, and by the way, you should join my Discord. You guys know I'm a big patriot. No problems there. But patriotism is third priority, right? In third priority in this way, right? More than loving your country, you should love your family, right? That should be something that motivates you more than your country, which is why I thought that Annie's motivations were better than Aaron's. I mean, Annie, in a sense, even you could say Annie's less evil than Aaron because Annie has more justifiable motivations. It was for his friends and for his country, not a family, not even a wife. However, 139 showed us that Eren actually did have a romantic interest in Mikasa, and although he never married her, he's still motivated by that romantic love for a woman. Now, am I saying that this makes him a PK of Chad? No, actually, no. I'll get to that later. However, that added dynamic of him loving a woman and not just a country, that is actually a very pleasant addition to the story, and it is better for Aaron's motive. That's a powerful motor. I mean, speaking as a man, speaking as from a man's perspective. If you want to talk about, Giga Chad this, War Hero that, blah blah blah, this stuff you guys want Aaron to be. Patriotism is a great motivator, but you cannot deny the motivation that comes from the love of one's wife, or the love of a woman. Now, moving on to that, this is why I say that Aaron is actually embodies masculinity. And most people confuse it. Most people say, "Oh, he embodies masculinity because he's willing to betray all morals. He's willing to do what he needs to do for his country, no matter what." Blah blah blah. They don't let anyone stop him. Blah blah blah. And then, of course, it's why they feel betrayed because he failed. I don't know how you can say he failed, but he supposedly failed, and he stopped midway or whatever crap you guys say. Um, but no, that's not what makes him masculine. What makes him masculine is exactly that. The words, no, I don't want that. Because that tells us exactly what Aaron is thinking. Aaron, we know, does not want to die, right? And he wants himself to die for multiple reasons, but one of those reasons is in fact for Mikasa. He creates 138, the aberration that Mikasa goes to. He does that for Mikasa. And the thing I really like about this is that he actually tries to put on a happy face for Mikasa. So what is he doing? He's taking, again, he's not married to her, but he's taking this role. I mean, he's not the king either, but he's like the de facto king of Eldia. He's taking on the de facto husband role. He's going in there, doing all this for Mikasa. Knowing, I mean, she knows too, but he knows as well that he is going to die. And he's going to be without her. And he tries to put on a happy face in 138, and he tries to make her have a good time. And I'm implying this last part, so that she can have the strength of the will to kill him. As I like to say, Mikasa ate her cake and had it too. She got to have her 4 years with Eren, and then she got to kill him. So when she gets to be a hero, she gets to kill her. And she gets to be the hero, and she gets to be with Eren. Win-win. I don't know if that was going through her head, or I don't know if that's why she killed him, but that's just my interpretation. However, in 139, we know Eren does not want Mikasa to forget about him. He, in his perfect selfish world, he would be with her, and after he dies, she would think about him for 10 years at least. That's what he said. So now we know Eren's selfish side, what his sinful nature, what he wants. However, what does he tell Mikasa? He says, "Forget about me." Now, of course, that was a mistake, but this is what I mean when I talk about masculinity. Even though he wants Mikasa to cling to him and remember him for a decade after he's dead, he tells her to forget about him. This is the thing that people always forget after 139. What does he say to Armin directly after? Don't repeat that to Mikasa. I want her to be happy, right? So the reason why I actually like this scene, this is not something to just skip over. It's like, oh, yeah, how am I going to defend this? Oh, this is bad. No, I like this scene. I like it a lot. Because it shows exactly what Eren is sacrificing for his lady. Which, I mean, in my opinion, you can disagree. In my opinion, going through that pain, knowing you're going to die, it's a very painful line for me to read. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's sad. And he says, I want to be a big to everyone, right? But he can't. And he tells her to forget about him. That, to me, is much, much more masculine, or, whatever you want to say, than all the keep moving forward crap beforehand. Don't get me wrong. I love that stuff. It was great. It was awesome. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was all great. I was just like you, I was very excited at 120, 124, very happy. Nothing to dispute there. However, this is more because 124 was about him. 124 benefits him. That's not a selfless act. Men are about being selfless, right? Everyone, the famous scene in Titanic, women and children first, right? That's because the men sacrificed for their families, for the society. And they may say, well, he was sacrificing emotionally, blah, 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 blah. Well, we know that's not true because we know that he wanted to, and he was seeking personal self-actualization from the rumbling. So that's already out the window. The fact that he told Mikasa to forget about him, this is literally no benefit to him whatsoever in any way. And that right there is what makes Eren a man. That's a manly thing to do. So that's my take on the whole thing. As always, feel free to leave a comment. You're always welcome to do that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video.